right. This is episode number 3 coming up next week. The perks of not being a wallflower. I will admit, I'm a little bit nervous about this episode because of the title, Perks of Not Being a Wallflower. I don't like it. There's a movie on Netflix that's called Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I think it's talking about acceptance or something like that. And I think the title's too close to a movie, and there's also a book, and the book has, I think, some young kids having sex in it or something like that. I just read the title because I wanted to figure out, what does a wallflower actually mean? So I don't like it when they make titles like that where it's too close to other movies and all this stuff. Just call it what it is. So this episode is going to focus a little bit more on, I guess, Clark Kent sitting around the kitchen table telling his kids about what it was like being Clark Kent. So I'm not going to make this video too long, but I thought I'd address this because this was part of my concern after watching the pilot. I was actually concerned that they were going to start watering down the effects, the story, all this kind of stuff. And this is a new director. I forget what his name is, but it doesn't really matter at this point because it hasn't aired yet. So we'll see. The trailer looked good. Like I mentioned in the pilot, it's easy to do nods to videos or to movies that have existed in the past with Christopher Reeves, Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill. That's easy. You can do that because you got lots of ideas. To come up with a new idea for Superman is difficult, and this is why I created a channel, a YouTube channel called The Kryptonite Maneuver. So you have to be able to figure out a way to make the story work. That's probably the most difficult thing with the character of Superman, and that's probably why some people consider it boring. I want to talk about a couple things, and then I'll wrap this thing up. So I think what we can expect is a little bit more tension between the two brothers, and I'm hoping it's not going to be like that for the next 13 episodes where they're arguing about who gets to have the powers and all this kind of stuff. And one theory that I thought about is the idea that I was watching a little bit of Super Friends this afternoon, and it's a cartoon from like the late 70s, early 80s, and there's these, what are they called? Dynamic twins or something like that. And whenever they get together, when they're close to each other and they do a fist bump, their powers get activated. One of them turns into water, basically elements of water, steam, ice, all that kind of stuff. And the other twin, the female, she actually can turn into a gorilla or whatever else. So my theory is, when you get these two twins together, that's when their powers activate, both Jonathan and Jordan. So I don't know, it's just a theory. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Let me know if you think this is plausible. So we'll see. I'm really hoping that it won't be disappointing, because we can end up being very shaky. And it's only the 3rd episode, and it won't last if it's going to get crazy the story's going to get weak and watered down and all this kind of stuff, and the effects aren't going to be as good as the pilot, it's going to be an uphill battle. Uphill battle. And like I said, this is the perk of having my own YouTube channel. I could talk about this series without worrying about doing reviews for other movies coming down. Batman's coming up soon. Actually, not very soon. Maybe a year, whatever. But there's, I think, Supergirl is, they're talking about making a movie for her. The Flash is airing episode number 2 next week. Lots going on. Lots of movies coming down the pipes. We have Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out soon. So all the YouTubers that are doing movie reviews are going to be talking about that. So that's why I am focusing on Superman and Lois, because it's important to be able to focus on the series and talk about it. So like I said, I'm concerned right now. I don't like the title. The trailer looked pretty good, where Superman is going to rescue a bridge. Maybe it was an earthquake, maybe it's a tsunami. Who knows what it is? Maybe Lex did something, Captain Lex. Who knows? I'd like to see more of Sam Lane, because I think the seed has been planted by Captain Lex that do not trust Superman, because Lex's world has been destroyed. So it's possible he's from the future. I think he's from another alternate Earth. Who knows if that sets things in forward motion with Sam. Maybe he starts not to trust Superman anymore. So that'll be interesting, because he's already stockpiling kryptonite. That's interesting in itself. And then he gets a dog tag from Captain Lex. So they were friends in another time, another space, another chapter. So we'll see. Like I said, you've heard it first here, that I'm nervous about the perks of not being a wallflower. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see. Anytime I come up with something new, if I read an article or see something in the news about this TV series, you're going to hear about it first right here. So thanks a lot. That wraps it up for tonight.